Hey guys, it's Ndoplex and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new World of Tanks Halloween event, MIRNY 13. Now, MIRNY 13, this year's Halloween event, it was around last year, has got a few little upgrades in it to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable. So, this MIRNY event, well, why did you want to play it? What's the main reward? Well, here we go. If you click down to the road to reward at the bottom left, you have got these stages, which you can see. I've completed a few of these stages already. And these stages go all the way up with various different requirements, like you can see here, which is cause damage to corrupted in battles on hard or nightmare, and then decrypt the reel. Now you can see these reels cost 20 keys. Now I have 15 keys in the top right here, and these keys you'll acquire these keys by just playing the event. The better you do on your team, the more keys you will get. So it is a good incentive to try and play the best game you can. Although this is a PvE mode, so you are against AI, and if you just want to, go in and have a bit of fun, you can still get some keys for that. So you'll get various things from this. You will get stuff like free XP bonuses, some different decals, credit boosters, credits, bonds, even days of premium, demounting kits, and battle pass points for just completing these stages on the reel, each requiring a different amount of keys to decrypt. And the final reward you will be getting, if you manage to do all of these, is the Obsidian. Now, this is a specialized version of the TITT tank, or the TIT. It is a Soviet Tier 8 premium tank with some underwhelming looking stats, with 200 average damage on its gun. Really a little pea shooter, but with decent gun handling, accuracy, mobility is not bad, and survivability seems to be able to, that is armor with 120 on the hull, which is pretty well angled, and 205 on the turret will definitely keep you alive against these lower tier targets. So is the Obsidian worth it? Well, I haven't grinded my way up there yet, and I don't intend on buying it, but you can definitely acquire this tank in a pretty reasonable time, free to play, if you just play this event, and any free to play premium tank is going to be worth it in my opinion. Earn bonus credits, earn bonus XP, be able to use whichever crew you want. It's all good in my book, and why not have a free tier 8 premium with some other good rewards? So those are your rewards for playing MIRNY 13, and I'm going to now give you some tips and tricks and some gameplay of me and a few friends of mine completing MIRNY 13 on the hard difficulty. You've got 3 difficulties here. You've got normal, hard, and nightmare. And now you don't have to ever play this game mode on anything harder than normal. However, if we look at the road to reward, there are certain things, objectives, that you have to complete in hard or normal, hard or nightmare mode, sorry. And at the end, you can see here that defeat the final boss on nightmare difficulty. Now, you don't have to, like I say, you don't have to ever play this on any harder than nightmare, but it is going to really help you in getting your keys. As you can see, if you manage to defeat the final boss on nightmare, this stage will only cost you 30 reels to decrypt. However, if you're unable to complete this on nightmare difficulty, you can skip the challenge and claim the reward for 130 keys. So if you're unable to complete these game modes on the hardest difficulty, you are going to have to spend a lot more reels to be able to claim your rewards. However, it is still doable for any player out there, so I do encourage you to jump in and have a look at the game. So, some tips and tricks in the MIRNY 13 game mode. Now, you first start with 3 tanks. You will start with the Hornet, the Cerberus, and the Double, and for completing different phases, unlocking them with keys, you will be able to unlock, like you can see here, this was the one to unlock the T49, so I unlocked that here, and it is important to say you don't have to unlock these reels in any particular order. You can unlock them as and when you want, and I would recommend, once you've completed the objective and you can unlock these, I would recommend unlocking the ones that give you the tanks for rental, because each day all of these tanks have a bonus mission. See the daily mission here, deliver 100 Miriam to the Magnus, and you receive bonus keys. So if you play a game in each of these tanks, each day, you can get bonus keys on top of what you're earning for the event itself. So I would highly recommend that the first things you do are try and unlock these 3 other tanks. So you'll have 6 tanks to choose from here. In my personal opinion, once you've unlocked everything, I would say the Malachite is the best tank. It is a variation of the T54 tank. You've got here stuff like the AMX 1390. You've got the Centurion here. We've got a version, looks like, of the 703-2 double barrel tank, a T49, and the auto-reloading Progetto Italian tanks. Now, the auto-reloads are quite good, and I would say that they are probably going to be my second favourite. The Cerberus just has such low alpha damage at 240, makes it sort of tricky sometimes to take down your opponents. And the double, well, it's up to you. If you like the playstyle of these double-barrel tanks, they can work pretty well, but it is a bit slow, and it is lacking a bit of DPM, which is very important in this mode. So you can see here that in this year's event, we have the option to pick consumables. Now, consumables, they will do a set of different things, such as setting enemy vehicles on fire, causing damage to nearby enemy vehicles, life-stealing, invulnerability shields, all sorts of different things to help you in this game. And now they do cost credits to buy, each one costing 10,000 credits, except for group repairs, which cost 3,000 credits. But in this mode, you'll be earning anywhere from 40 to 100,000 credits per game if you're able to take down this encounter. And so I would say it's well worth your time investing in these consumables to help you be able to complete the harder challenges in the game. The 2 that I would absolutely 100% recommend, always on all of your vehicles, are emergency repairs. This instantly restores 400 hit points, repairs all the modules on your vehicle, and gives you an extra 300 hit points over 30 seconds, 10 at a time, which isn't a lot. It gets interrupted when you receive damage, but the main thing is the 400 point instant, and repairing your engine, you know, putting out fires, all that sort of stuff is very important. On a 2-minute cooldown, so you can use this over and over again. And the other one, which I would say is more important than emergency repairs, is group repairs. Now, I said before, group repairs is cheaper, only valued at 3,000 credits, and I think this is Wargaming trying to suggest to everyone, use group repairs. Group repairs is amazing. You will instantly repair modules, extinguish fires, and restore hit points to you and all allied vehicles in an area. And so, with this having a 3-minute cooldown, if you stagger it between your teammates using one at a time, don't all use them together, like pace them out a little bit throughout the combat, you'll be able to keep your team's health topped up throughout the entire encounter. And for only 3,000 credits, my god, is this worth it. The third one that I would recommend, if you were using an auto-loading tank, such as the Hornet, or such as the Legia Ferrata, and to an extent the T49 as well, I really do like the magazine loading. This basically instantly refills your magazine, ready to fire another barrage of shells for your autoloader. It's got a 2-minute cooldown, which is quite long, but being able to, in the Hornet, dish out 12 shots successfully, very quickly, or in the T49, being able to deliver 4 150mm high explosive shells to the enemy can be very potent. However, in your single shot firing tanks such as the Cerberus and the Malachite, I would definitely recommend cyclic loading. Now it says here, significantly accelerates the loading cycle of the gun. And what this is doing is this will take your reload on the Malachite from base at about 6 seconds, it is at base, drop it down to about 0.9 of a second. For, I think it's roughly 5 seconds, you can normally get around 5 shots out, which is amazing. It basically means that every 2 minutes, you turn your tank into an autoloader. And when your tank's dealing 320 base damage, putting it into an autoloader so you can shut down enemies really quickly is absolutely fantastic. And I would say the most important thing in this game mode is to take enemies out as quickly as possible. Focus fire to take the guns out of the game. The less guns that are in the game, the less damage you're going to be taking. And if you stick with your allies and focus fire, you'll definitely be able to make your way through this event in some pretty decent times and be able to make your way all the way up to the Nightmare difficulty pretty quickly. And on Nightmare, you're going to be getting more keys, you're going to be getting more rewards, more credits, And it's going to be a bit quicker to do because it can be a little bit grindy. If you're having to do everything on normal mode, it will take you a long time. And whereas I do think this game mode is very fun, it can definitely seem a little bit grindy after you've played for a long time. So one thing to note as well is you'll start with normal difficulty. As soon as you are able to complete the boss on normal difficulty, which there are 4 phases. There are 3 phases of collecting this Miriam and depositing it to the big reactors. And then on the 4th phase, you will be able to fight the boss. If you kill the boss, you then unlock hard, and subsequently, once you kill the boss on hard, you can unlock nightmare mode, which is the hardest mode in the game. Oh, right. That's a bit of a rundown of the event and what you've got to look forward to with some of the rewards. Oh, and just a passing note, you can always just go straight over to the store if it will let me load, which it seems to have some difficulty doing, and buy your way to the max rank if you're that way inclined. I don't know why you would, since you're able to get all the rewards in this game mode for free. But here you go, you'll be able to see here, MIRNY event, there you go, £40 UK. You can buy your way up to the top, get a tier 8 heavy tank, some styles, and, 400 keys. If you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. But with it being such a reasonable event to grind, I'd highly recommend you try and take this one free to play and grind your way up on your own. That's enough rambling on what this mode's about and what you can get. Let's jump into some gameplay that I had with a couple friends of mine on the hard mode difficulty. I have not yet completed on nightmare mode, and nightmare is a big struggle. But let's show you some hard gameplay now. Okay, so here we are in the MIRNY event. I am playing here. This is my first game ever in the T49, and I've got 2 friends of mine playing both in the Malachite tank here, and then another 2 randoms. It is a 5 squad battle, sorry. In this game. So one thing I would say is I'd highly recommend, if you've got some friends, this game is a lot easier with friends. You can see we've pinged the map here to say where we're going to go first, and this is really important. Someone needs to take charge, take the lead, and decide where you're going to go, because you're going to want to wipe out these guys as quickly as possible. Now, the first ones we stumble across here are rabbits, and rabbits are some of the best ones to come across, giving you a lot of MIRNY collected, and also very easy to take down. They spawn and they basically try and run away from you. There are several different groups of enemies that spawn in this game. You'll get rabbits, which are the ones that run away and die really quickly. You'll get the regular guards here, which you can see, that have various different abilities that they can use on you. You'll also get corrupted guards, which can do things like increase their own fire rate and also set you on fire as well, which are very dangerous. And then you'll also get roaming packs of hunters that will come and try and hunt you down and kill you. And then also hedgehogs that will spawn, which are low health but high damage, quick, like mine tanks that will chase you down. And if they're able to hit you, they will do some very significant damage. So, as I was saying before, the most important thing in this game is to stick together. And if you're able to stick, you can see that AoE that guy put down there. If you stay in that AoE, you'll take a big chunk of damage, and it will be not good for your health. But like I was saying before, you want to stick together and try and take guns out of the fight as quickly as you possibly can. The less guns firing at you, the less damage you're going to be taking, and so the better you're going to be able to survive. Now, dying is not the end of the world, but it certainly is undesirable. If you end up dying in a round, you will not be able to spawn until that round is over, until all the Miriam has been collected and deposited, and then you're teleported to the next phase. That's when you'll respawn. However, you will respawn on half your hit points, and also you will lose all of your secondary ammunition. Now, you can see all of the tanks carry 2 different rounds of ammunition. One does regular damage with regular penetration, and the other rounds, which you'll acquire for defeating targets like the rabbits, will grant you higher damage but less penetration often. It's a bit different in the T49 because the T49 fires high explosive rounds, so actually its special rounds deal higher pen but less damage, so take that with a pinch of salt. It's my first game in the T49. I don't personally think it's a very good tank. You can see here I'm often hitting for, you know, 400 damage. Okay, you can get the occasional one-shots on the Udezes, which is very nice to take them out quickly, but I'd still say the Malachite's, without a doubt, a better tank. So, your objective in the game is to, as you can see, collect Miriam here. Now, in the normal, hard, and nightmare modes, it is a different amount required each time. In normal, I think it's 80 on the first one. In hard, you can see it's 250. One of our guys has tried to deliver already and unfortunately died. But it's 250. And on nightmare, it's a lot. On nightmare, it's a lot. So you'll get Miriam by just killing tanks and collecting their little essence. So you don't want to be too far away from the tanks while you're killing them. You can see here there's some essence here that you can grab. And your tank kind of sucks it up into its little depository thing on the back of its turret. So you'll suck it up and you'll drive to the big reactor in the middle and just stand in the area and you deposit. I actually got dragged then jumping over the hill. That was a bit silly. But yeah, you'll fill it up. Now, something important to think about here is once you've got enough Miriam, you don't have to instantly deposit it. You've got your time at the top of the screen, and you've got all this time to collect Miriam. Now, it is very beneficial to over-collect the Miriam in the Magnus, because it actually carries on to the next phase. And phase 1 is definitely the easiest phase. Phase 2 slightly harder, and phase 3 of the roaming is without a doubt the hardest phase. So what you want to do, the main strategy, is to clear out camps as quickly as you possibly can for phase 1 and 2, and clear out as many tank camps as you can to get as much Miriam to carry it through to the next round. You can see we've already got 150 Miriam going into phase 2. We only need 350 to deliver it to the Magnus. So it's very easy to overgather Miriam and carry it to the next phase, which is going to make your life a hell of a lot easier going into the later phases. It'll be my #1 recommendation is overfarm Miriam and carry it over to the next round. The only danger with that is you need to make sure that you deposit in time. If you don't collect enough Miriam within the time limit, you can see you've got about 5 minutes on each round. If you don't collect enough within the time limit and the time limit reaches 0 without you having had enough, you will fail. There's no grace period. There's no, 30 seconds left until you have to do it. You will automatically fail. So you've got to be careful to watch your time there and not spend too long collecting. Just make sure you've got enough time to get to the reactor and deposit your thing. So you can see the hedgehogs sneaking up on us there, spawning, and they deal a lot of damage if they manage to hit your tank, but they are very weak, so you're able to shut them down pretty easily. So, yes, over-collect Miriam. You can see we've already got 400 here, which is way more than enough to be able to do our reactor, but still with 3.5 minutes left, you might as well collect as much as you can and take it to the next areas. Now, if your teammate happens to die, they do drop their Miriam on the ground, and you can go over their bodies to pick up the Miriam, allowing you to not lose that Miriam even if your teammates die. And now, one thing throughout this whole thing that I haven't mentioned is the Immortal. Now, this is going to be your phase 4 fight, and you can see him on the map here down in the bottom right of our little group here, the Immortal. Now, this guy is the final boss, but he will chase you throughout your time killing the camps, and so it is very much in your best interest to kill camps as quickly as you can and keep moving and keep this Immortal from catching up on you. If he catches up with you, he can deal some very serious damage in a very short amount of time, and like my friend here in the Malachite can see, you can end up getting taken down very quickly by this Immortal tank. I'm trying to help him out here by shutting down the T49 loss, that are another random encounter that will spawn and try and deliver you. Another thing you can see here is if you're in the Immortal zone, you will be burning, and you can see at the bottom of my screen, I'm actually losing Miriam by being in his zone. So you want to keep as far away as possible from this Immortal. Otherwise, he will sap your Miriam reserves by just being in his bubble. My ally here died, so I've just picked up his reserves. So it's not a problem if your allies die, other than the fact that they won't respawn until next round, and you'll have to pick up their reserves. We've got way more than enough here. With a minute and 30 seconds left, it's getting a little bit dicey. I went back to collect the reserves, but my team has gone up ahead, and looks like they seem to be struggling a little bit. Another one down. I'm trying to get there in time. Managed to miss a shot on the UDES and not penetrate here, and this is where this T-49 is just not very good at all. Doesn't ram for very much damage, and it really struggles to be able to shut down some enemies. But there you go, we've collected all the mirror we need. We'll take us into the third phase. And you see here on the third phase, you need to deposit 450 Magnus. Each camp on the third phase gives you more Miriam than the phase before. And so, in just a couple camps here on the final phase with 5 minutes, we'll have collected enough to go straight to the reactor, and there is no point in over farming on the final phase. On phase 3, there is no point in over farming, because taking the Miriam to the boss doesn't do anything. You don't need any more than the 450 at the end. So, you just want to take out these camps, and then head straight to the big reactor as soon as you have enough. He's even been waiting there for my allies, because if you get caught out in front of these guys, you can take some very serious damage very quickly. And it can be pretty bad if you lose a lot of your health early, if you don't have these repair kits up ready to use to keep you alive, because like I said before, if you die, that's you out until the next round. And a hedgehog just hit us there for 500 damage, and they're chasing. You can see they chase you, and I'm thinking I'm gonna die here, but he actually manages to miss. And obviously these are AI, so you can play with their AI a bit. And there you go, we've just cleared out one camp, and we've already got enough. Straight over to the Magnus now, deliver it, all the Miriam, and get yourself into phase 4. Something that I haven't really talked about here is you also, every single tank has a boost mode. My boost mode is on the down mouse button here. This has got, I think it's like a minute cooldown, but it'll give you a very quick speed boost, which for the heavier tanks, it increases your speed, but also decreases the damage you take from ramming. And for some of the heavy tanks, you can genuinely one-shot some of the adds around the area with this speed boost thing. Is absolutely incredible to increase your DPM, and I would highly recommend you try ramming some of the enemies in these areas to really increase your DPM against them. And the final one here, all the time around the Miriam, they spawn different enemies, and you wipe these out. These also do give you extra Miriam around the encounter. It's not just the ones at the camps. These ones here do give you bonuses as well. So, you sometimes think you might not quite have enough on the last one, but actually at the reactor you get more Miriam anyway, so you know, you don't have to worry about it too much. Another thing, oh, there's so much to talk about in this one. Another thing I haven't spoken about here is, you can see at the bottom of the screen, we are getting perks here. I actually die at the end of that thing, which is a bit disappointing, me then going to the boss with lower health. And a big thing about dying, sorry, on a tangent here again, is not only do you come back with half of your HP, you also lose all of those special shells that you've been collecting throughout the whole fight. So you can see at the bottom now, I don't have any of the heat shells that I had collected all the way over the 3 phases. I haven't got any of these heat shells, which can be a bit troublesome, so you really want to try and avoid dying if you can. He says in the chat, focus on ads please, and that is the most important thing in this encounter, is focus on the ads. Now, what I was saying before is something that you get for completing each of the phases is different perks. Now, these perks are randomized throughout your team. You'll all get different perks each time out of a select, I think there's probably like 6 or 7 perks that you can collect. And these just give you bonus rewards like 20% durability, you get reduced dispersion while moving, increased reload time here, and also increase crew qualifications. Just basic bonuses to make you get a bit stronger throughout the fight. You see here, we are against the big boss, the Corrupted, and the way that this boss encounter works is he will try and chase you around the map. You've got various different obstacles that you can hide behind, and he will chase you, and at certain phases of his health, he will spawn ads. You can see on his first phase, he spawns ads at 6,000, well, I know the second phase, he spawns ads straight away at the start of the game. Then he spawns them at 6,000, he spawns them at 4,000, and he spawns them at 2,000. Now this is very important because you have 6 minutes to complete this encounter, and so if you get stuck for healing, you're trying to wait on cooldowns and stuff, the ads won't just spawn after a certain period of time. It's health determined when the ads spawn. So you can kite this boss round a rock several times to be able to increase the time in which you've got to restore your abilities and get your health back. And you can see there, we just killed the Corrupted. Well, unfortunately, not yet. The Corrupted, much like if you've ever played Sekiro, he's got 2 health bars. You can see we've destroyed one. One of the red tanks has gone to grey, and the other one is still red. So he's got 2 different health bars, 16,000 health in total. I think on normal mode, he has 12,000 health in total. And you'll have to defeat both of these health bars if you want to take him down. Also, something else I haven't mentioned is you can see on the actual boss itself, he has these orange patches. Those patches are areas that you can basically pen. The boss has a hell of a lot of armor, and so it can be very difficult to penetrate this boss if you don't hit him in those orange weak spots. So you want to try and focus these weak spots as much as you can, and that'll help you deal the most damage to the boss. You see here in that round, you get alpha hedgehogs to spawn, which are like a regular hedgehog with more health and deal a lot more damage. You can see me typing in chat now, don't kill him below 4k, because if you get him below 4k, that will encourage the next set of ads to spawn. So we can actually wait here and get your all your health and stuff back. Unfortunately, our allies are not actually listening, which is a bit of a shame. I'm not in a platoon with all of them, just the 2 of them. So you can see now we've got to 4k. All of these ads spawn now, and this is the most dangerous time in the game. This 4,000 round where the ads spawn is super dangerous. You can see we've got all these hedgehogs spawning, coming to chase you down. All of the ads in the middle of the map coming to chase you down. It is a very dangerous time at the 4,000 health mark. And I would say this is the biggest time where you'll end up failing this mission, is if you don't manage to kill those ads at 4,000 health. Once you've wiped out the ads, you'll have more spawn at between 1 and 2,000. But at that point, you just burst the boss down. You can see we've nearly done it. He's on 200 health. And there we go. We completed him. Corrupted, M103 destroyed. Victory has been won for our team. And so, the MIRNY 13 event. It's a fun event. It reminds me sort of old school, like a World of Warcraft raid, for example. In World of Tanks, it's a fun way to play. It can be a bit grindy, but you can also get some really good rewards in the end, making it well worth your time to grind out this event. And that's why I thought I would put up this little tips and tricks review of MIRNY 13 to try and help you guys as best you can at achieving these higher victories and being able to get your keys quicker and hopefully unlock a tier 8 premium tank for your account. So, all in all, God, it feels like a lot of talking in this one. All in all, the MIRNY event's a hell of a lot of fun, and my main things to say are: focus enemies down. Don't try and do as much damage as you can. Try and take out as many guns as you can. And in the boss fight against the Immortal, whenever the enemies spawn, the ads, not the main boss, focus on the ads as much as possible while kiting the boss around the arena. If those ads die and you're able to have a 1v1 on the boss, you're very likely to be able to take this encounter down. However, you can quite quickly get overrun and killed by the vast amount of ads that spawn in this encounter. And so when you get down to that second health bar at about 4,000 HP, that's when you should be loading your special ammunition. That's when you should be using your ability to reload your guns very quickly to try and take down the enemy ads as quickly as possible. Else, you won't be securing a victory in this game mode anytime soon. Anyway, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed this video of a breakdown of MIRNY 13. I tried to throw as much information as I could into this video to help you guys out and hopefully secure some victories and a premium tank in this event. All right, guys, thank you all very much for making it to the end of the video. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.